uniforms on yesterday, didn't they?
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and
Are
welcome
you
to the
streaming?
Cox Softball Complex for Day 2 of the NAIA Softball National Championship opening round. Hosted here on the campus of
Welcome back to the campus of Central Methodist University in Fayette, Missouri, as we continue this first round side, NAIA softball. We had an extra inning game, went 10 innings, and British Columbia defeated Campbellsville, Kentucky by the score of 2-1. So British Columbia, they'll get about a 2-hour rest, and they'll play again this afternoon here in Fayette against UT Southern. This next game is a winner's bracket game between the home team, the Eagles of Central Methodist University, coming in with a record of 39-9 under Coach Pat Reardon. Coach Reardon now 1,025 wins as the head coach in his last 33 years as the head coach of this program. In the other dugout is Trent Partridge. Trent is the head coach of LSU Alexandria. The Generals are 47-7. They are the number 1 seed. They defeated UT Southern yesterday 6-0. The Generals scored 4 times in the third inning on 4 consecutive hits with 2 outs. Julia Quackernack was 3 for 3. Camille Lightfoot 2 for 3, including a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. Haley Primrose, who will be in the circle again today, was the winning pitcher, giving up 3 hits, striking out 7. Lauren Petty had 2 of those hits. As far as CMU, the Eagles scored twice in the first inning on their way to the win. Haley Cotter gave up 4 hits, 1 run to get the win. She's in the circle again today. Kiona Nordquist was 2 for 3 for the Thunderbirds. Elizabeth Palumbo, 3 for 3. Jolie Kreider and Madison Roberts were both 2 for 2 in that 9-hit attack. Carleen Murray took the loss despite striking out 9 Eagles, but she pitched today, pitched very well for the Thunderbirds. So this is a winner's bracket game, and then the contest after this one will feature British Columbia and UT Southern. The winner of this game will play at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. The loser will play at noon tomorrow against the winner of the BC UT Southern game. So this should be an interesting one. Should be a lot of fun. High-powered LSU. When we talk about their lineup, they can hit, and CMU about the same. The Eagles left a lot of runners on base yesterday, and I was talking to Coach Pat Reardon about that, and obviously that is a concern for him. But it's going to be interesting to see which one of these teams gets off to a good start offensively against 2 talented pitchers. Haley Primrose for the Generals, and Haley Cotter for the Eagles. LSU is the home team. They're in the third base dugout, but they are the home team since they are the number 1 seed. Primrose comes in with a 2.01 ERA. 25-5 is her record. She is a strikeout pitcher. She has 177 strikeouts, including 7 yesterday, in 187 innings. Where's number 7? Yesterday, the Generals wore the black uniforms. They're in all white, a pinstripe today, and the Eagles are in their black uniforms trimmed in green. So we're ready to go in this first round. The Eagles won this last year and went on to Columbus, Georgia. We'll see who wins today and who wins as we go through the rest of the week to head to Columbus, Georgia for the finals, beginning May 22nd. Glad you can be with us. Esteban Valdez is with us as well. And Lauren Strange is our director producer today. Esteban has followed this team all year, so he'll give you his comments as well as we get ready to go. At Primrose, first pitch to Jolie Kreider is outside for ball 1. Kreider is a left-handed hitter. And on the scoreboard, CMU is will be the guest. That pitch is over but low, and it's quickly a 2-0 count on the leadoff hitter here for the for the Eagles. Kreider waits for the pitch from Primrose. Fly ball foul left side. Esteban, you watched this team most of the year, and this should be a pretty good offensive match. Both of these teams very powerful hitting ball clubs.
Yeah, they both have some really good power to show for. I mean, the batting averages, they don't lie in that regards. And these are two teams that were meant to square off back in March. Would have been phenomenal to see that matchup, but they'll get a chance at each other regardless here.
Yeah, they rained that game out in Mobile, Alabama in early March. So here they are here, 3-1, and there's a lead-off walk for Kreider. And I don't have to tell you what that means. That means Elizabeth Palumbo, who is the player of the year in the Heart of America Conference the last 2 years, comes to the plate. Yesterday, she was a perfect from the plate yesterday, and she is just a phenomenal player. Yesterday, she was 3 for 3.
Well, that's a big reason why both of these teams are really good. You see player of the years in each respective conference on both sides as well, and that has a lot to show for.
Palumbo in this conference, and Julia Quakernack is the player of the year for the Generals. Here's the pitch. That one was fouled off to the left side. Next pitch, way high, and it's 1-1. Well, the Eagles would love to get off to a good start here.
We talked about it yesterday as well, not just player of the years from both of these teams, but how many players were in the first team, second team all conference as well. Both of these squads just really solidified 1 through 9.
And that's a ball, and it's quickly 3-1 on Palumbo as Primrose having a hard time finding the plate early on. Here's the pitch. Check swing foul, third base side. You talked about all conference. Palumbo was named the player of the year, but other first team members were Cotter, Lauren Hill, Madison Roberts, Daly Garland, Casey Jolly, Rachel Brandt, Jolie Kreider, Veronica Dirth, and Maddie Holly also received all conference. There's another walk. So the first two have walked. First and second with nobody out for Madison Roberts.
Well, and that's something we didn't really see from LSU starting pitcher Primrose yesterday. She was really good controlling the strike zone, good at getting ahead against the hitters. First two batters in this game against number 2 seeded Eagles, it's kind of been a different story.
And already a visit to the mound. So coming out, Trent Partridge trying to settle his pitcher down. The Eagles left a lot of runners on base yesterday in their 4-1 win. But 2 walks here. And Roberts comes in, another left-handed hitter. The Eagles wearing their black uniforms today. Here's the pitch. Squares to bunt, takes a strike, pulled the bat back on 1. Maddie Holly is next, and then Casey Jolly. Molly Sistrunk is at third. Haley Fontenot at short. Alyssa Swallow is at second. Here's a bunt. Runners advance. The throw to first from the pitcher Primrose. 1 out, but 2 runners now in scoring position. Good play by Roberts. Good bunt.
You are really happy about that if you're CMU and head coach Per Reardon. Selfless player just trying to do anything she can to advance the runners, and a soft ground ball did exactly that to the right side, even better.
So there's 1 out, and this pitch is hit foul to the left side by Maddie Holly. Now, Primrose is a strikeout pitcher. She has 177 strikeouts this year. And she's ahead 0-1 on Holly. This is a big at-bat early in this game. Pitches outside 1-1. So Kreider's at third, Palumbo at second. Holly from the left side takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Third baseman playing even with a bag. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Primrose. Outside, 2-2. She is struggling to find that plate early on. We did not see that from her yesterday, did we? Here's the next one from Holly. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. They throw to first. Runners have to hold. So 2 outs right back to Primrose. She looked Kreider back to third and then turned through to first for the out. Now there are 2 outs for Casey Jolly, the center fielder, and runners still at second and third.
And you have to credit the composure from Primrose right there. Knew she had 2 runners in scoring position. Like you said, looked Palumbo back to third.
And now a line drive to first that's caught by Quakernack. I'm telling you, that ball was almost by her as she reached out and caught it. And wow, what a start defensively for the Generals. So 2 walks to lead it off, and then 2 ground balls to the pitcher and a line drive. And I'm telling you, Quakernack, I think, actually caught that ball behind her as it was heading into right field. But as it is, no runs, no hits, no errors, 2 left on. Bottom of the first coming up, no score. She's 17-4, 125 innings. She struck out 59, giving up 125 hits. Earned run average 1.45. Wow, what a play by Quakernack to end that first inning. That ball was headed into right field, scored 2 runs, and she reached out and made the grab.
Well, and defense is arguably the most important part of any softball, baseball team. We saw that in the first game today, too, and even more outstanding plays from both of the sides, and that's what we've seen early on in this one as well.
And there is a ground ball to short, just like you told us. Madison Roberts with a backhand throws to first for the out, 1 out. So 1 out for Kylie Moody. Moody is the right fielder. Where's number 60? You don't see that number a lot. She's out of Groves, Texas. She is the right fielder. And here's the first pitch to her from Cotter. Ball outside. Cotter out of Smithville, Missouri, in the Kansas City area. 1 out, nobody on. Cotter ready to work, and the pitch. That's high, 1-1. Both of these teams can hit. The CMU team, they've scored 349 runs this year, a batting average of .352. 36 home runs. There's a strike on the outside corner, and it's 2 and 1.
And that average for the Eagles was even higher as they completed the regular season. They headed into conference tournament, kind of fell out a little bit, lost in the second round, but that average is spiking up near the 400 mark in regular season play.
Here's the pitch, just a little bit outside. 3-1. Cotter walks to the back of the pitching circle. We're in the bottom of the first inning, no score. And here's the pitch. Chopped foul right at the plate. One more game after this one today. It'll be another elimination game between Tennessee Southern and British Columbia. That British Columbia team just got done. They'll go take a quick break, probably get a little something to eat, and maybe change a uniform top or whatever and be back here to play again.
Well, it's safe to say Tennessee Southern is already starting with the advantage.
There's a foul third base dugout. I would bet the Tennessee Southern team, they said you can play 25 innings if you want. Just keep playing for a while. Tennessee Southern lost to this Alexandria team 6-0 yesterday. Count is 3-2. Here's the pitch to Moody. And there's a chopper to short, handled by Roberts. Throw in time for the out, 2 down. 2 ground balls to short, 2 out. Here's Maddie Baker. Maddie is the catcher for this team.
Number 38, Maddie Baker.
She's from Sydney, Australia. 5'11". First pitch to her. Yeah, that's a foul ball down the third base line, handled by Holly. You talked about the all-conference players for CMU, Alexandria. They had the coach of the year in Trent Partridge. They had the player of the year in Julio Quackernack. Defensive player of the year in Baker. Newcomer in the year in Caitlin Dunbar. Plus they had first-team all-conference Fontenot, Kylie Moody, Haley Primrose, and Jillian Howell. So you're right, both of these teams very well represented on their respective all-conference teams. 1-1 is the count. Pitch to Baker. Chops this one foul at the plate.
And the great thing for LSU Alexandria and that remark is they were doing that in arguably one of the hardest conferences in all of NAIA softball.
Yeah, and Our Lady of the Lakes, they lost today, I think. They lost a game, so they're going to have to, the defending national champs will have to come back through the losers bracket if they're going to get back to Georgia. Here's the pitch outside, and it's 2-2. Warm afternoon, right around 80 degrees. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Baker, and that's hit to third. Gobbled up by Holly. 1-2-3 inning. We go to the second. No score between the number 1 and number 2 seeds.
Welcome to the Heart of America Athletic Conference, where innovation meets tradition. Here, growth is not just measured in victories, but in the development of character and sportsmanship. Our student athletes compete at a championship level, pushing their limits every day. The Heart is committed to an uncommon student athlete experience that features some of the premier athletic programs in the NAIA. Our commitment to excellence goes beyond athletics, establishing a community of
Hill.
And it'll be Lauren Hill, the catcher for CMU. We'll start things off. Lauren wears number 15. She's out of California, Missouri, and rips one in the left center. That's going to go all the way to the fence, and that'll be a double, a stand-up double. Now she's good. I thought she was going to head to third as the ball was bobbled out there, but she checked in at second with a double. Ringing double to left center by Lauren Hill. She's there with nobody out, and here's Rachel Brandt, the left fielder. Boy, that was a good, solid swing.
Well, that's one of the things that this catcher has been doing phenomenally all season long. 17th two-bagger of the year, and it comes even larger with no one away.
And here's stepping in is Brandt. And here's the first pitch to her. Squares to bunt, takes it high, ball 1. As the third baseman, Sistrunk, was charging Fontenot, the shortstop was heading over to cover. But Hill's at second with nobody out. A 1-0 count on Brandt, and the pitch. Swings away, hits it to center field, and that catch is going to be made, and no advancement. As hit to Dunbar. She made the play and got it in quickly, so 1 out for Sammy Pica.
A smart decision by Hill to stay at second base. You don't really want to test that arm, especially in the second inning. No one away. Now there's one retired, and at the same time, Rachel Brandt drilled that one, gave it a ride, and you're not mad at that at all if you're CMU. You're making solid contact in this second go-around.
Yes, they are hitting her. And that was a good throw in by Dunbar, so she put it right to the shortstop, so you're right. A good job by Hill to stay there. So here's Pica. trying to move that runner over. She fouls one off the screen to the right side. One and one is the count. The Eagles already stranded 2 runners in that first inning. Here's the next one to Brandt. And she takes it inside for a ball. Takes a look down at her coach, Pat Reardon. 1,025 wins in his 33 years ahead of this program. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Primrose does not have a strikeout. She walked the first 2 batters she faced in this game and stranded both of them. Here's the pitch. Foul right side, good at bat for Pika. She stays alive. Good crowd here to watch this second game, as you might expect, with the home team. A lot of fans, both in the stands on both sides. Here's the pitch, and that's just a very weak little pop-up to the first baseman. Quackernack makes the catch, and they're 2 down. If you're an Eagle fan, Esteban, you don't want to see this pattern continue, and that was what happened yesterday as they stranded a lot of runners.
That's exactly what I was about to say. They've been kind of struggling with this towards the back end of the regular season, and they kind of brought it with them into the conference tournament, now into the first and extra 2 innings of this national tournament as well, and that's something that's going to have to change quick if they want any chance of making it to Georgia.
Here's a ground ball, and that's going to get through. And heading home with the first run of the game is Hill on the hit by Garland. Got a glove on it, but was unable to do anything with it. And Hill comes around to score.
Well, you talk about a commentator's curse. There's the commentator's blessing. Switching things around.
Garland hit that ball, and it really found the right spot. There's a fly ball to short left center, going to be handled by the center fielder Dunbar. So the inning comes to a close, but the Eagles strike first. They get a run. There were a couple of hits in the inning. No errors and 1 left on. 1-0 CMU. Bottom of the second coming up. We head into the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Quackernack, Primrose, and Dunbar, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Generals. Quackernack, the average of 509. 509 is her average. Has 13 home runs, 84 hits. Right-handed hitter. And she takes ball 1. She had a big game yesterday. Facing Cotter. The Eagles said, there's your run. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. We're in the bottom of the second inning of the winner's bracket game. The winner of this one plays again at 2:30 tomorrow. The loser will play at noon tomorrow. Got a little late start because of the extra inning game in game 1. There's a base hit into right center, and it's going to get all the way to the wall, and that's going to be a double. That was a ground ball hit so hard that neither outfielder could get to it before it got to the fence.
Well, CMU and Lauren Hill started with a double themselves in the top of the second. LSU can respond as well.
And that ball was smoked. It was on the ground all the way. So a leadoff double by Quackernack. She just continues to be an unbelievable hitter, and here's Primrose. Primrose is the pitcher, also a pretty good hitter. Hits .348. Steps in from the right side. And here's the pitch to her. Squares to bunt, and bunts it foul at the plate, 0-1. Coach Partridge trying to get that run back any way he can, trying to do it with a bunt. When you take a look at Quackernack and Palomba, and you talk about two of the top players probably in the country in NAIA softball. Here's a good bunt to third. The only play is to first, and the runner gets to third. So sacrificed by Primrose. And there's one out, and the tying run is now at third base.
That's always something I enjoy seeing, the small ball getting played a little bit more. It works, you know. You manufacture runs some way, somehow. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you hit 10 home runs. Only thing that matters is that scoreboard at the end if you're on top.
And here's Dunbar. Let's see what she can do. Infield comes in a little bit, and she fouls this one straight back. What she's trying to do is get anything in the air to the outfield. Let's see. Quackernack at third. It's an 0-1 count on Dunbar, and here's the pitch to her. Outside 1-1. Connor hasn't walked anyone and struck anybody out. And here's the next pitch to Primrose. Ground ball. Runner's coming home. Here's the throw, and she is out at the plate. Madison Roberts threw a strike to Lauren Hill to get Quackernack at the plate.
What a play by Roberts, and Quackernack was just going on contact. He immediately saw that ball get past the third baseman, had no hesitation going home, but the cannon by Roberts set her down and sent her back to the dugout.
Boy, what a throw. Right on the money. And so Dunbar on the fielder's choice is the runner now, and here's Jillian Howell, the designated player. Pitch to her. And that's up the middle for a base hit. Well, the runner tries to score with one out, and you never know what would have happened, but there's a two-out base hit by Howell. So she's at first, Dunbar at second now, and here's Sistrunk, Molly Sistrunk, the third baseman.
And that's just another ground ball that is roped over the center right side, and these LSU hitters are making good contact of it, leaving it on the ground, but they're still driving it into the outfield somehow.
Here's Sistrunk. She's the number 8 hitter in this lineup. 1-0 CMU. We're in the bottom of the second. Pitch. Outside corner for strike, 0-1. Cotter ready to go to work. She's given up 2 hits this inning. That's inside, 1-1. CMU fans wanted a strike call, didn't get it. It's 1-1. We're in the bottom of the second inning. And here's the pitch to Sistrunk. Chop foul at the plate, 1-2. Third base is Holly. Roberts is at short. Pika at second. Palumbo at first. Brandt, Jolly in the outfield. Going with Garland. Here's the pitch. Way high and outside, 2-2. Two and two. Big pitch here for Cotter to Sistrunk. Just outside, 3-2.
And the battery for LSU in this inning, they started off really aggressive before the first 2 outs. Now they're kind of switching gears and staying back a little bit more, making harder work.
3-2. Runners will take off with the pitch. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ground foul into third base dugout. Good play over there by Coach Trent Partridge. So we'll do it again.
It's so important to run that pitch count up, especially in a 4-day tournament like this one. And Cotter already having pitched yesterday. Her arm might get tired at some point today.
And a little warmer weather today as well. Here's the pitch. Changeup, foul down the left side. Boy, she was on top of that changeup but pulled it foul. So 3-2 is the count. Dunbar at third, Howells at first. 3-2 on Sistron. A lot of pitches in this inning by Cotter, trying to get through the second inning here. And here's the pitch. Hit a long ways foul left side. That is just a long foul ball.
Well, she's on those off-speed pitches. She's giving them a ride. Just not able to quite square it up and get contact for him. A bit too early on both last ones.
That one was way foul and long enough to be out of here. Here's the 3-2 pitch again. Ground ball to short. Handled there. Throw to first. Inning over. So a nice assist put out by the shortstop Roberts. And in the inning, no runs. There were a couple of hits. No errors and 2 left on base. We go to the third, 1-0 CMU. Well, we start the third inning. Palumbo, who walked her first time up, was stranded at third. She has a batting average of .411. And on the first pitch, hits a ground ball right to first for the out. So that didn't take long. 1 out for Madison Roberts. Roberts, the big defensive play of the game so far, a strike to cut down a runner at the plate last inning. 1-0 CMU in the top of the third. There's ball one. Roberts, batting average .425. And she takes ball 2 a little outside. Primrose wanted that call, didn't get it. So it's 2-0. She's already walked 2 and doesn't have a strikeout yet in the game. Pitch. There's a swing and a miss. She came into this game with 177 strikeouts. Here's the next one to Roberts. Little changeup. Outside, 3-1.
You can tell Primrose is trying to really work the corners against Palumbo. Roberts, check that.
It's 3-1 count and the pitch, and there's her third walk of the game. As she walks Roberts now, let's see how the Eagles want to play with Maddie Holly at the plate. Maddie grounded out back to the pitching circle her first time up. Another very good hitter, hits .375. Another lefty. And here's the first pitch to her. Ball 1. Well, the Eagles will take those walks. They only have 2 hits, and they've scored the only run of the game. We're in the third. There's ball 2. Right now, Primrose can't find the plate. Walks completely out of the circle. Now steps back in. And here's the pitch. Foul back to the screen, 2-1. Two very powerful offenses, but of course you win as many games as these two teams have. You have to have some good defense and good pitching as well. If the Eagles can win this, it'd be win number 40 on the year. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, base hit into right field. Charging out there, Moody grabbed it, and Roberts has to hold it second. But again, first and second with one out for Casey Jolly.
Well, and Holly right there just waited on her pitch. Wasn't too overly aggressive to begin her at bat. And after that, saw one she liked and had no problem placing it perfectly in that right gap.
And Roberts had to hold it second. Charging that one was Moody. Here's the pitch. That's a ball. So Primrose trying to work the corners and not getting it where she wants it or getting the call, and it's 1-0. Here's the next one to Jolly. That's way outside, 2-0. The Eagles, for the fourth year in a row, won the Heart of America Conference. Made it to Columbus, Georgia last year and hoping to do it again this year. There's a ground ball right back to the circle. The throw to third for the force out. And Jolly reaches on the fielder's choice. So there are two out. Holly goes to second. Jolly's on at first. And here's Hill. Doubled and scored in that second inning. Right-handed hitter. And here's the pitch from Primrose. That's high ball one. CMU scored one with two outs in the second inning. Now runners out there again. Ball two outside. Primrose throwing a lot of pitches in this game. We're in the top of the third. 1-0. Eagles threatening again. And the pitch. Check swing. She went around. It's 2-1. Just couldn't hold up on that one.
Well, Primrose already with 40 pitches thrown after 98 yesterday.
Yeah, so she's working hard in this tournament. 98 yesterday. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the next one to Hill. Popped up. Shortstop. Fontenot says, I've got it, and she does. And the inning comes to a close. So in the inning, no runs. There was a hit and a walk. No errors, and the Eagles strand two more. They've already stranded 5 runners. We go to the bottom of the third inning, 1-0 CMU. Third inning, Camille Lightfoot will lead it off. She had a 2-run homer in that game yesterday. The dead center field to make it 6-0. And she'll face Haley Cotter. Cotter's given up 2 hits, but stranded both of those runners on base. Nice defensive play by Roberts to keep a run from coming home. So here we go with Lightfoot. She definitely showed the power yesterday with that home run to straight center field. That's the only home run hit in this tournament so far. She squares to bunt. And just like yesterday, her first at bat was an infield hit on a bunt, and the second time she came up, she hit a 2-run homer.
Well, and that basically tells you all you need to know about this LSU team. Your number 9 hole hitter is hitting home runs.
Is hitting home runs to dead center field. It's 0-1 on. Here's the pitch from Cotter. Swings and misses, and it's 0-2. Cotter got the win yesterday. She's out there again today. Oh and 2 on the number 9 hitter and the pitch. Outside 1-2. We're in the bottom of the third inning. CMU leading 1-0. Both these teams will play again tomorrow. Here's the next one to Lightfoot. That's outside, 2-2.
That's another thing that makes both of these squads so great, not chasing pitches outside the strike zone, just being disciplined and knowing what that strike zone is.
Make those pitchers work. 2-2 is the count now on Lightfoot, and the next one to her. Strike 3 called, and that's the first strikeout for Cotter in the game. So 1 out for Haley Fontenot. She grounded out to the shortstop her first time up. Fontenot and Moody, the next 2 hitters. And that's 1-0 ball game. We're playing already in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch to the leadoff hitter. Rips this one foul. Left side, 0-1.
Now, Rachel Brandt looks like she might be having a busy day at left. So many hitters have been pulling that ball to the left side of the field. The only issue for LSU in that sense, it's gone foul 9 out of 10 times so far.
And the 0-1 pitch. Ball 1-1. And yeah, they've shown some distance on those foul balls. Fontenot steps in again from the right side to face Cotter. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Little low ball, too. But you're right. These hitters lay off those pitches just off the zone.
Well, and it also talks about how Cotter has been able to mix in her pitches as well, getting hitters to jump out a little bit earlier, kind of expecting that fastball, and then she goes off speed with it.
There's a 3-1 count as that pitch stays outside. On deck is Kylie Moody. Boy, the front part of both of these orders, the batting orders, very difficult to work through. It's 3-1 now to Fontenot. Here's the pitch to her. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. So she's on with 1 out, and here's Kylie Moody.
Well, that one was timed perfectly by Fontenot there. Up the middle, had no doubt about it. Kept it low in the ground. Hard for any infielder to do anything with it. That was too close to the bag.
Here's Moody. She's the right fielder. She grounded to short her first time up. And now Coach Reardon comes out to talk to the first base umpire, having a discussion there. So Fontenot's at first with 1 out. Moody is the hitter. Now the umpires are going to get together here. Let's see what the discussion is going to be here.
We've already seen a couple times in this tournament, especially in Game 1 today, where hitters have been stepping outside of the batter's box before making contact. That could be maybe what they're talking about here.
Maybe what they're talking about here. Coach Reardon came out of that first base dugout to talk to the first base umpire. And they're going to call the runner out. Now, Coach Partridge wants to know what's going on. So obviously must have been she was out of the box. I don't know. And now Coach Partridge wants to know. So Fontenot's being called out. And I don't know why.
We had that yesterday as well in one of the 3 games. The player got a hit, base hit, solid. The single it looked like, and afterwards was called back to the dugout.
Well, the conversation now goes to the other side, but Pat Reardon wins this one. We'll try to find out what. As a right-handed hitter, I don't think she was out of the box. I don't know what but it looks like Coach Partridge not getting the explanation he wants. Now they're going to bring all 3 umpires together again, and they're going to discuss it, and let's see what they decide to do now. They're going to say, no, the play stands, you're out, and I don't think Coach Partridge is going to agree with that. I have no idea why he was called out.
Well, and I've seen umpires change a call initially after one coach talks to them. I've never seen them reverse a call twice.
Well, this conversation to the home plate umpire is not over yet. Very calm conversation.
That's how it always starts.
Yeah. He's still talking, but I don't know if it was in the box or something on the way to first. I have no idea. But as it is, there are 2 outs for Kylie Moody and nobody on base. And Coach Partridge not happy. So here's Moody. First base coach not happy either. And here's the pitch. Outside for ball. So that's 2 outs now for Moody and nobody on base. Moody grounded to short her first time up, and here's the pitch to her. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. One and one is the count on Moody. It's a 1-0 game. CMU, we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the next pitch. That's high, 2-1.
You know, and that out at first really changes the entire complexity of this inning and maybe even going forward.
That's a big play because let's see what happens here to Moody. And it's a 2-1 count on her. Baker, the next hitter. There's a strike, and it's 2-2.
You can make the case it's only 1 base runner, it's only 1 out, it's still early, but when you look at the lineup, the part that's due up,
right.
it's her top half.
It's the top half of the lineup. You are exactly right. So here's Moody. 2-2 count. Connor trying to get out. Whatever it was, Coach Reardon spotted it and got the call changed. Here's the pitch. Outside, 3-2. Three and 2 is the count on Moody from Cotter. And here's the pitch. Round foul outside of third. Still 3 and 2. On deck is Maddie Baker. But there are 2 outs. And here's the pitch. Ground ball, stabbed by Cotter, flips to first for the out. So a couple discussions in that inning, but it's all said and done. A 1-2-3 inning for Haley Cotter. We head to the 4th, 1-0 CMU. We go to the 4th inning. It'll be Brandt, Pika, and Garland, the 3 hitters for the Eagles, who lead at 1-0. Brandt flied out to center her first time up. Takes a strike to start the 4th inning. So 0-1 on Brandt, Pika on deck. Here's the next pitch. 1-1, is that one out of the zone? So 1-1 on Brandt. 1-0 ball game. Again, she's 0 for 1 on the year. on the game, and that one skips up to the plate, and it's 2-1. Well, Primrose has already walked 3 and does not have a strikeout. Here's the next one to Brandt. Way high, and it's 3-1. Boy, if she could get on, then Pica would be for sure trying to bunt. And here's the pitch. There's a strike, 3-2. She was taking on that one. So it's 3-2. Breeze blowing from right to left here. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Base hit. Oh, a diving stop by the second baseman, but she can't. She throws wildly to first. It'll be an infield hit. What a play at second by Swallow, but she got up and threw it wildly. It'll still be a base hit.
Well, and you applaud the effort of her right there at second. A diving spectacular. Just couldn't quite get a grip on it in her throw, but either way, Rachel Brand, you credit her as well. Good piece of hitting again up the middle, and that's what we've seen so far from a couple of these hitters, just driving the ball into the center side.
And Pica not showing bunt there. Maybe on this pitch, it's 1-0. They're trying to make Primrose throw strikes here, and she's kind of having difficulty doing that here. Here's the next one. And that's a hit into right center. The right fielder makes the catch. This could be a double play. Throw back to first in time for the... Oh, they called her safe. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Good catch out there. And then the throw into first. And Brandt scrambled back and barely beat the throw.
For a second, you looked at the first base umpire. Her gesture at the moment seemed like she was ready to make the out call, and kind of last second switched over to safe.
Garland up the plate now. It was very. I think if you had replay, they would be one. They not saying that she wasn't safe, but I think that would be one in the opposing dugout you might ask them to look at. There's a base hit in the left field by Garland. So first and second with one out, and now the top of the order coming up. How about that? Hit by Brandt, hit by Garland. Garland is 2 for 2. And now it's Kreider. The Eagles trying to put some runs on the board here. Here's the first pitch to Kreider. Ball one outside. And this Eagle offense has come alive here. They already have 5 hits in the game. And they've received 3 walks. This one fouled off the screen on the left side.
Well, they've been good all season long when there are really no runners in scoring position, but this is when the real test is going to start for them. So far today, 3 for 12. There's a runner at least at second base, and they do have a 1-0 lead, but they need to be able to cash on a couple more with runners at third or second.
Kreider swings and fouls this one back, and it's 0-2, and Palumbo waits on deck. So they've got the hitters up. The Eagles won. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first, and they're going to tag Kreider. So there are 2 outs, but the runners move up for the Player of the Year in the Heart of America Conference, Elizabeth Palumbo. So really, Kreider did her job, didn't drive in a run, but she moved the runners into scoring position for Palumbo, who walked and then grounded out to first. And here is strike one to Palumbo. Very good hitter. 0-1, left-handed first baseman, and the pitch to her. Ball just a little high. Eagles trying to get a couple of big runs here. They've got them out there with 2 out. And here's the pitch to Palumbo. And she hits it towards second. Gobbled up. Throw to first in time for the out. Good job by Primrose to get 2 very dangerous hitters in Kreider and Palumbo. So in the inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 more left. The Eagles have left 7 runners on base through 4 innings. 1-0 Central Methodist. We head to the bottom of the 4th.
Race for the 45. sideline, stumbles, breaks the tackle. He's to the 20, to the 10. He is taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Still caught down the line, and it's in a line drive right down the line. Running catch by Jolly. Henry turns, shoots, hits it from the corner. The fading three.
Bottom of the fourth inning, it'll be Maddie Baker, Julia Quackernack, and Haley Primrose. Baker grounded to third in the first inning. It's 1-0 CMU in this winner's bracket game. Only 2 hits for the Generals. Both came in that second inning. Here's the pitch. Ball 1 low. Ian Cotter, 1 strikeout, hadn't walked anybody, giving up the 2 hits, no runs. And here's the next one to Baker, the third place hitter. There's a strike, 1-1. Already 4th inning. This one moving right along. We still have 1 game remaining today. Scheduled for 5, probably about a 5:30 start on that one. Inside, 2-1. That'll be UT Southern against British Columbia. Another elimination game. The loser of this one will play the winner of that one tomorrow in our first game. Here's the pitch. Outside, 3-1. Well, you don't want to lose Baker if you're Cotter with Quackernack coming up. 3-1 to Baker. There's a strike. She was headed to first, thought it was ball 4, but called a strike. Well, it's now 3-2. Baker waits from the right side. And here's the pitch from Cotter. Struck her out. That's her second strikeout, and that's a big one. 1 out, and that brings up Quackernack.
Second time she's retired, Baker as well, and talked about how huge it is. Primarily, yes, it's a first out, but also you want bases empty when you face the number 4 hole hitter, Quackernack.
Julia Quackernack from the Netherlands has a double. Was thrown out at the plate, which would have been the tying run. Here's the first pitch to her, high ball 1. I don't want to give her anything good to hit, or she'd make it a 1-1 game. A 1-1 game if you're an Eagle fan. If you're a fan watching for the Generals, wouldn't mind seeing one fly out of here. 1-0 is the count. Here's the next one to her. That's chopped foul, 1-1. One and one is the count on Quackernack. 1-0 CMU. We're in the 4th inning. And the next one. Ground ball towards second. Here's the throw to first. Not in time, and that's an infield hit for Quackernack. Boy, she put it in an extra gear when she saw that ball get by the circle. And she beats it to first base, beats the throw by Pika. So she's on at first with 1 out, 2 for 2 again. Again, she hits over 500 on the year. And here's Primrose, who sacrificed bunt her first time up. She won't be bunting here. And she takes a strike, 0-1. One nothing. 2 high-powered offenses, but the pitchers have done the job so far. Here's the 0-1 to Primrose. Ground ball to short, could be 2. They throw to first for the double play. Roberts stepped on the bag and threw to first for the double play. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We're through 4. CMU leads at 1-0. Well, we head to the 5th inning. It'll be Roberts who made a nice play there for the double play. Holly and Jolly are the 3 hitters here. And there is a strike to Madison Roberts. 1-0 ball game, the only run in the 2nd inning. Here's the next pitch. Outside, and it's now 1-1. Again, CMU on their home field today is the visiting team. Here's the next pitch. There's a fly ball left field. That's going to drop and get by the left fielder, Lightfoot. On to second base is Roberts. She's heading to third. She'll get there with a triple.
Well, and I don't know if this is fact-checked, accurate or not, but I've always been a fan of knowing that if you make a spectacular last play defensively to end the inning and you're up to bat immediately after, good things are going to happen for you, and that's exactly what Madison Roberts did right there. And how many times do you hit a ball to the left as well as she did in softball and get a triple out of it? That shows her speed around the bases.
Lightfoot dove for it, couldn't come up with it. So now runner at third, nobody out for Maddie Holly. And CMU trying to add another run here in the 5th inning. Good effort by Lightfoot. She couldn't come up with it. Pitch is outside. And it's 2-0 now. And Primrose looks a little frustrated in that pitching circle. Probably a little tired. Here's the 2-0. That's a line drive caught by the third baseman. Wow, that ball's hit hard. Sistrunk caught it, and fortunately for Roberts, and heads-up play, she stayed right on the bag.
If Roberts had taken one more step to her right, it would have been a Taylor-made double play for LSU and the third baseman of Sistrunk.
Boy, that was a heck of a catch. That was a shot. So here's Jolly now with 1 out. Sistrunk, that was a reaction play. She just reached down, and the ball was right there. Here's the next pitch. Ground ball foul outside first. So it's 1-1. That's a big run there at third base.
From her last swing, Jolly has the right intent of not trying to do too much, just get something on the right side.
And she holds up for that swing, and it's now 2-1. So 2-1 is the count on Jolly with a runner at third. Roberts pitch. Ball 3 outside. A lot of pitches for Primrose. Runner at third, 1 out, 3-1 count on Jolly. And here's the pitch. Ball 4, walked her. 4th walk by Primrose. Now the runners at the corners with 1 out for Lauren Hill, and she doubled and scored in the second and then hit a pop-up to the shortstop her next time up. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Pitch to Hill. They throw down, and the runner steals the base without it. Well, they throw it, but they catch it in front of second base. So now 2 runners in scoring position.
And walks is something that Primrose has to know how to manage. She had 3 yesterday, 4 today so far. One of those came around to score in this game.
And there's a foul third base dugout. It's 1-1. Yeah, she's walked 4. Has 177 strikeouts, but does not have any today. And Hill with a 1-1 count. Infield back at short and second, so they'll give up the run if it's hit to one of those 2 spots. Here's the pitch. There's a base hit. That's going to score at least 1. Runners will check in at first and third, and it's 2-0. How about Hill? A couple of hits. Runners at first and third now, and it's 2-0 for Rachel Brandt.
Well, Lauren Hill coming in clutch, and that is what the CMU team needed to get something going with runners on base and even more so with runners in scoring position. They've kind of struggled early on with that, but Hale looking to get them back on track with that.
Have a pinch runner out there. Who's that pinch runner for the Eagles?
Kylie Richardson.
Kaylee Richardson is the pinch runner. Still first and third, and still only one out. Eagles looking for a big inning here. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. No throw. Second and third. Again with one out.
Yeah, that's kind of a given at this point in softball. You have a runner at third and first at the corners, only one away. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that stolen base into second safely.
Well, Brandt, a base hit would score 1, maybe 2 more. Here's the pitch. Ball 2, and Primrose really having a hard time finding the plate today. She has thrown a lot of pitches, has walked 4. 98 pitches last night, and those totals are adding up today. Squared a bunt in front of the plate, runner not going. Here's the throw to first in time for the out, and the runners have to hold. Bunt right in front of the plate. It was picked up by Sistrunk. She threw to first, the second baseman covering, and the runners had to hold, so 2 down.
What a spectacular play by the third baseman of Sistrom. Off-balance throw, had one knee up, fully off balance, and was able to still record the out.
Here's Pika now. Let's see what she can do here. Again, 2 more runners in scoring position. It's a 2-0 game, but the Eagles would want more here. See if Primrose can pitch around this trouble here. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, third, grabbed by the third baseman, throw across for the out. I'll tell you what, Sistrunk made 3 excellent plays in that inning, including that backhand. But the Eagles do come up with a run. There were 2 more hits in the inning and a walk. No errors, and the Eagles leave 2 more on base. They have now stranded 9 runners through 5 innings. It's 2-0 CMU. We head bottom 5. Well, Caitlin Dunbar will start things off in the 5th. Jillian Howell and then Molly Sistrunk. Boy, did she have some defensive plays that last inning. Caught a shoe-top line drive, then made a great play on a bunt in front of the plate, and then a backhanded stab to end the inning. Without her defense, the Eagles would have had at least 2 more runs. Here's Dunbar, takes it outside, ball 1 against Haley Cotter. 2-0. We play in the 5th inning. 3 hits by this General team. And here's the next one. And that's chopped toward third. Here's the throw, not in time, and that'll be an infield hit for Dunbar. There's not much Holly could do about that one. She grabbed it and threw, but that was just a very softly hit ground ball about halfway up the third baseline. So leadoff single by Dunbar. She's 1 for 2, and here's Jillian Howell, who had a base hit in the 2nd inning. Runner on at first. And here's the pitch to Howell. She rips it to the shortstop. Throw to first for the double play. That ball was ripped, but it went right to the shortstop, Roberts. And Dunbar, too far off of first base, doubled off. Defense.
Unbelievable grab by Roberts at short. And look at the stretch by Palumbo at first. Acrobatic-like play, leaving it all out, and just enough to get that double play.
Yeah, that ball gets over her head at short. That's a 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. There's a line drive foul down the third baseline by Sistrunk.
We've been treated to some defense today, first 2 games so far.
Yes, a lot of good defense. So 2 outs, nobody on. And here's Sistrunk, 0-1. And the pitch to her. In for a strike, 0-2. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-0. Here's the next one to Sistrunk. And it's ripped up the middle for a base hit. How big was that double play now? So that's the second hit of the inning. And here's Lightfoot. She struck out her first time. So a 2-out base hit after a base hit and a line drive out and a double play off of that. And now Sistrunk with a hit, and here's Lightfoot. Facing Cotter, pitch. Ball 1 outside. Here's the next one to Lightfoot. Snap throw to first, and diving back in is Sistrunk. 2-0 is the count on Lightfoot. Fontenot on deck. And the pitch to her. There she takes the strike, and it's 2-1. So Cotter down on the count 2-1 now, or 2-0 now, makes it 2-1. And here's the next one to her. Runner on at first to Sistrunk with 2 out. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
You can tell Cotter is pitching freely right now. She really does not have much to lose. Up by 2, even if she makes a back pitch here and Lightfoot takes her yard, this game is still well in their reach.
Lightfoot 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right back to the circle. Throw the first for the out. Well, there's a lot of action, but the double play erased a lot of it. And that's the end of 5. No runs, 2 hits in the inning. No errors and 1 left on base. We go to the 6th. CMU has a 2-0 lead. We head into the 6th inning of a 2-0 game. Central Methodist with the lead. Here's the first pitch, and it's a ball to Daly Garland. She's 2 for 2. The next pitch to her, check swing foul. On right side. 4 walks by Primrose. She's thrown a lot of pitches, but she stranded a lot of base runners, too. 7 CMU runners have been stranded on base. Here's the pitch. 2-1. In that last inning, the triple by Roberts, she did score, but there was an out, a walk, a base hit to score 1 run, and then 2 fine plays by Sistrunk. 3-1, and once again, Primrose having a hard time finding the plate, and if she walks, you go back to the top of a very solid lineup with Kreider. Here's the 3-1. Strike 2.
Well, you look at the surprising part for Primrose. She's had success against Kreider and Palumbo, the first 2 in the lineup from 1 to 9. 0 for 2, both of them each.
There's a ground ball to short. Throw one out. So she came back nicely from the 3-1 count. Yeah, yesterday it was the top four in the order. Kreider, Palumbo, Roberts, Holly, who did a lot of the damage. Today, Garland's 2 for 3. Brandt is 1 for 3. Hill is 2 for 3. So it's that part of the order. Here's Kreider. She's 0 for 2 with a walk.
And that's something you love if you're any head coach, the fact that you can get productivity from anyone in the batting lineup in a certain day. You know, maybe your first 2 hitters, first 3 don't have it one day. You can rely on your bottom half to carry you.
0-2 is the count on Kreider as Primrose quickly gets ahead of her. And here's the pitch, and that's right back to the circle. Flips it to first quickly, 2 out. So she is 0 for 3 with a walk, and here's Palumbo 0 for 2 with a walk.
Number 23, Elizabeth Palumbo.
2-0 CMU. We're on top of the 6th inning. And here's the pitch to Palumbo. Rips it by the second baseman for a base hit. Moody picked it up and thought about trying to throw to first. Would not have gotten her, so that's her first hit. So she's there with 2 out for Madison Roberts, who's 1 for 2 with a walk, a triple, and a run scored. Next pitch, there's a strike. She squared the bunt, taking all the way, and it's a strike. She's going to take a strike, and she got it there, so it's 0-1. Next one to Roberts. A little high. 1-1 on her. Roberts out of Elkhart, Illinois. Pitch. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. So two out singles. And that'll bring up Maddie Holly, who has a hit. With runners at first and second and 2 outs. So 2 ground balls, and now all of a sudden a couple base hits, and here's Holly. She could add another run with a hit. And the first pitch to her. Ball 1 outside. I don't know what the pitch count. Do you have the pitch count for Primrose?
92 right now.
Wow. And there's a flare into right center. That's a base hit. It's going to score another run. 3 2-out hits. And Palumbo scores to make it 3-0. 3 straight hits and approaching 100 pitches on the day. Primrose, and she threw 98 yesterday.
Well, CMU 3 for 15, exactly 200 batting average with runners in scoring position. But in back-to-back innings, they've been able to deliver. And this time with 2 away, a little 2-out rally going and threading the needle in back-to-back at-bats. Both pitches, those balls just finding some gap at first in the infield, later in the outfield, and it's a 3-0 advantage.
Well, and now in left field, Camille Lightfoot is coming off the field like she injured herself, maybe going after that base hit. She's trying to stretch that right leg, so she's going to come out. It's 3-0. On base hits by Palumbo, Roberts, and Holly. So the Eagle offense coming alive here in the 6th inning. If this score holds, the Eagles will play at 2:30 tomorrow against the winner of the noon game tomorrow, which would be against either British Columbia or UT Southern, and the loser of this game. They'll play at noon tomorrow, and CMU would wait for that one. If they would win that game, well, they wouldn't have to play on Thursday. So still a lot can happen. I think we have a pinch runner for the Eagles as well. That is Kendall Miller, who's going to run at second. And let's see, going into left field is Cassidy Tucker. So Cassidy Tucker will be going to left field in place of Camille Lightfoot. Lightfoot was going after that ball in right center and pulled up a little lame, and so she is out of the game. Well, here's Jolly. The Eagles could break it open here. 2 quick outs and then 3 straight hits, and Jolly could add to that lead. 3 runs, 1 in the second, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. And no indication to take Primrose out of this game. And I'll tell you what, she has worked hard, throwing at or above 100 pitches now. And there's ball 1.
Well, and we still haven't seen any other pitcher for LSU Alexandria in this tournament. Primrose, a complete game yesterday. They might be going with her, trying to get her to do the same here today as well, but it kind of leaves some question of the depth of the pitching rotation for LSU.
Yeah, I look at Kirsten Martinez, a 1.78 ERA. She's 13-6. Right back to the circle, throw to first for the out, and the inning comes to an end. But another run for the Eagles. 3 hits this time. They strand 2 more, but good clutch hitting, and no errors in the inning. It's 3-0 CMU. We go bottom 6. Well, here we are in the 6th inning, in the top of the order. Fontenot, Moody, Baker, and Quackernack are the 3 or 4 scheduled hitters for the Generals, who trail 3-0. Haley Cotter won yesterday, and she struck out 2, hadn't walked anybody in this one. Fontenot grounded to short and then reached on a base hit but was called out. We're still not sure why, but she wasn't out in the 3rd inning. Now she'll lead off the 6th and takes a strike. CMU trying to win this one and then rest until 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. One strike on Fontenot. And here's the next one to her. And that's ripped up the middle for a base hit. That's the way the 6th inning starts. Fontenot with a hit, and here's Moody.
Well, that's what you need if you're LSU right now. You're down to final 6 outs. You need to get the bats going some way or the other, and with no one away leading off the inning, you love nothing more than to see that.
And that may be it for Haley Cotter. Let's see. His coach comes out. Let's see if he's going to take the ball. Pat Reardon's out there. He's talking to his pitcher and all of his infielders. 33 years he's been head of this program. Before that, he coached women's soccer at Central Methodist. That came to CMU in 1986 as a soccer player, soccer and baseball.
You know, I don't know what the relation is between soccer and softball, but there might be something there because he's done a phenomenal job at the Diamond as well.
Yes, he has. Well, they're going to leave Cotter in there. Moody's the hitter. You won't be bunting here. They need runs. A 3-0 game. And here's Moody, Baker on deck. Moody, right-handed hitter, pitch to her. Ball 1 outside. 1-0 on Moody. And here's the pitch to her. Ball 2 outside. You're in the heart of the order now. 2-0 is the count on Moody. Runner at first is Fontenot. And here's the pitch to Moody. Ball 3 way outside.
This is where you really need to start digging deep if you're Haley Cotter.
Yeah, she doesn't want to put a bunch of base runners on here. Up 3-0, but you're facing a very dangerous general lineup here. 3-0 is the count on the second hitter in this lineup. And here is that pitch. Strike, and she was headed to first base, and the strike was called. So it's 3-1 now. Three and one. Let's see how Cotter works to Moody here. Line drive. That is a base hit into center field. Runner heading to third. Here comes the throw. She's going to be safe, and Moody gets to second. Trying to get the runner at third, Fontenot. That throw was late getting there, and that allowed Moody to get to second on the base hit. So second and third, nobody out. And here's Maddie Baker.
Oh, a heads-up base running by Moody, realizing that throw was going to be made all the way to third, and she did not hesitate for a split second. Stood at first, got herself extra 60 feet, and now it's 2 in scoring position.
Well, that's it for Cotter. She struck out 2, didn't walk anybody, gave up 7 hits, and no runs. So the 2 on base are her responsibility, however. So Fontenot is on at third, and Moody is on at second. New pitcher coming in, Veronica Durth. She's a sophomore, West Alexandria, Ohio, out of West Alexandria, Ohio. We'll take a look at her numbers. Durth, 19 appearances. She has an earned run average of 1.94, 60 strikeouts. She's given up 89 hits in 90 innings. So Veronica Durth has been called on here for the first time in this opening sight to face Maddie Baker with runners at second and third and nobody out.
It's the first time from either team that we've seen a different pitcher. Both of these squads won with their ace yesterday as well, but now the question goes to how well can Durth adapt to having to pitch out of the gate with 2 in scoring position, even though she does have a 3-run lead.
And the pitch is outside, ball 1, and Quackernack waits on deck. 3-0 CMU, but the Generals threatening here in the 6th inning. And here's the next pitch. Ground ball to second. That'll get 1 run in. A throw to first for the out. So Fontenot scores, but the Eagles wanted the out, and they got it. So 1 out, and that puts Moody on at third for Quackernack.
That's a play that makes both teams happy. You trade in a run for an out. CMU's content. Alexandria will take it. They open up the scoring gates for them. Neither team minds it.
Here's Quackernack. She's 2 for 2. Trying to get that second run home. Here's the pitch to her. That's a strike. 0-1. So Durth trying to get her team back to the dugout. Now it's a 3-1 lead. 0-1 count on Quackernack. Outside 1-1. I'd have to look at yesterday's scoring, but I'm not sure she's been retired yet in this series, in this tournament. Maybe once. 1-1 here. And here's the pitch to her. Swing and a miss. Oh, she took a home run swing and missed it. 1-2.
Well, and you're exactly right. 2 for 2 yesterday.
Yeah. So she's had quite a series. Durth trying to get her out of here with a runner at third and a 3-1 game. And the pitch. Fouled it just off the end of the bat to stay alive.
That's what great hitters will do. They'll foul off top pitches, prolong the at-bat as much as they can, make the pitcher work, and they wait for a good one and then just slice it up.
Durth trying to end this 6th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. What a huge strikeout for Durth. What a huge play that was, and there are 2 outs for Primrose.
When you look at the LSU dugout, they looked a little bit surprised, like, was she actually out?
Yeah.
Like, we haven't seen that at all this tournament.
No. Wow. So here's Primrose, still a runner at third, now 2 outs. And here's the pitch. Foul ball, out of play, right side, 0-1. Three and 1 is our score. Primrose now 0-1 on the count. Pitch to her. Inside and low, 1-1. Moody is the runner at third. 1 run is in. And here's the next one to Primrose. Line drive into left center. It's now a 3-2 game, and that one's going to go to the wall, and that's going to be a double for Primrose. Just like that, it's 3-2.
An excellent piece of hitting by Primrose. Hasn't been having herself today in the circle, but she made up for it in a sense. Here with that, AB gets her first base hit of the game, and it drives in a run as well.
And
pushes her team just 1 run down.
And I think we'll probably have a pinch runner here. We will. And that's coming in is going to be J.C. O'Connor. She'll come in to run. So it's 3-2 now. And once again, the tying run in scoring position for Dunbar, who's 1 for 2. So O'Connor running at second. 3-2 is our score now. 3 hits in the inning. Dunbar steps in against Durth. Durth, right-handed pitcher, and the first one to Dunbar. Inside, and that gets away back to the screen. So now that tying run is 60 feet away. It'll be a wild pitch.
That's another thing that makes this Alexandria team so great. You give them any chance of signs of life, and they'll take it in a heartbeat.
Now a 1-0 count on Dunbar, and it's a 3-2 game. 2 very quality teams here. And here's the next pitch. Ball too low. Jillian Howell is on deck. Two 2-0 is the count on Dunbar. And here's the next one to her. A little number, that's going to stay. A fair ball, the throw to first, not in time, and we're tied. That ball was hit like a pool ball with a lot of English on it, just spun, and they could not get the runner at first, and Primrose scored, or rather O'Connor scored, and this game is tied.
You know, sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you hit it as long as it is just perfectly placed, and that is what Dunbar was able to do there to perfection. The ball didn't leave the infield, not even close to it, but we're tied up.
Yeah, and Palumbo came and got it, and that's all she could do. She turned to throw it, but Dunbar beat the throw. And because of that wild pitch, you had a runner at third. And now this game is tied at 3 in the 6th inning. 2 outs, though, and here's Howell. Howell is 1 for 2. Tie game. Swing and a miss. That's 0-2 on Howell.
You look at the scoreboard, and these two teams couldn't be more even.
No kidding.
3 hits, or 10 hits, 3 runs, no errors, both of these sides.
So bottom of the 6th, 3 runs by the Generals now. 0-2 count on Howell. And here's the pitch. There is a soft liner caught by the shortstopper Roberts right by second base, and the inning is over. But a big inning for the Generals. They score 3 times. They had 4 hits in the inning. There were no errors, and they left 1. 3-3 as we head to the 7th. Well, we go to the 7th inning. We had what, we have 10 innings in the last game?
11, I think, or was it 10?
Was it 10? 10-inning game.
10.
Lauren Strange is our director-producer today. She says 10 innings.
You know, sometimes it goes so long, you just lose count at some point.
Here's ball 1 inside to Lauren Hill, who has had a big game. A double, a run scored, and a base hit, and a stolen base. And it's 1-0 as, boy, Primrose out there again. Here's the pitch. That ball is hit deep to left field, and it is out of here. A leadoff home run by Lauren Hill. What a game she has had. And she gives CMU the 4-3 lead on a long home run to left field.
Well, the California native, a senior, she is not ready for her collegiate career to be over, doing everything in her power to extend it, and that home run gives him a 1-run advantage, and you can tell she is more than excited about that blast.
No question about that one. 4-3, just like that, the Eagles regain the lead. And here's Brandt. Ball 1 high. 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th by the Generals, and they come out and give up a leadoff home run here in the 7th inning. Fouled off the screen. 1-1. The bottom of the order here, Hill's 3 for 4. Brandt has a hit. Daly Garland's 2 for 3. She got all of that one. Here's the pitch. There's a strike, and it's 1-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th, you'll have Sistrunk, and then Tucker, and then the top of the order for the Generals, who now trail again 4-3. Haley Primrose is going to be one tired young lady after this game. She threw 98 pitches yesterday, well over 100 today. Fouled off the right side.
And I'm a little bit surprised to see her back.
Yeah, she has thrown a lot of pitches. And it's a warm day. There's a ground ball to third. Sistrunk gobbles it up, 1 out. And here's Pica. Sammy Pica 0 for 3. We have a pinch hitter, don't we? Michaela Albert is going to pinch hit. So Michaela Albert, the junior out of Tomball, Texas, will hit, takes a strike. 4-3, CMU with the lead. This has been a heck of a game. Next pitch. Little low, 1-1.
Albert is someone who's been kind of used to lately coming into the last 2 innings or so. Yesterday we saw her make a defensive substitution in the 7th in right field. That's kind of been her spot.
Well, she swings and misses there, and it's 1-2. 1-2 on Pika, and on Albert, and she strikes out, and that's the first strikeout by Primrose today. So there are 2 outs for Daly Garland. Daly is 2 for 3, a couple of base hits and a ground out to short. But a home run here by Lauren Hill has given the team a 4-3 lead in the top of the 7th inning. There's strike 1. Next one to her. Popped up, right side, down the right field line. The catch is made, I think, in foul territory by Kylie Moody. Nonetheless, the catch is made. But the leadoff home run by Lauren Hill, CMU leading by the score of 4-3 as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning. Now it's going to be Riley Terrio. I think Terrio out of Morgan City, Louisiana, has the helmet on in the on-deck circle. So here we go, Dearth to Sistrunk in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch is in, no inside corner for strike, 0-1. The home run by Hill is the difference in this one. She scored 2 runs in this game. She would be the MVP if this team holds on to win. She'd be the player of the game. That pitch is high, 1-1. Dearth will have to face part of the top of the order. So here we go. 1-1 is the count on Sistrunk. Ball too low. CMU trying to get to that 2:30 game tomorrow and go 2-0 in this first round site. Here's the pitch. Popped up on the infield. Calling for it, third baseman Holly, 1 down. And that brings up Terrio, it looks like, coming to the plate for the first time. Riley Terrio out of Morgan City, Louisiana.
Number 16, Riley Terrio.
Terrio, right-handed hitter. First trip to the plate in this opening sight. And here's the pitch to her. Outside ball. Oh, that's a strike on the outside corner. Late call by the home plate umpire, but it's a strike, 0-1. On Terrio. And here's the next one to her. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And here's the pitch from Dearth. Just a little outside, 2-2. She wouldn't chase. Haley Fontenot is on deck. And here's the pitch. Ooh, just a little high, and it's 3-2.
You can tell Dearth is trying to be careful, but at the same time, just paint that corner.
Yeah, that was close. But it's a ball. It's 3-2. Terrio trying to get on base any way she can for the top of the order here. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. Or is that ball 3? That's ball 3. Yeah, now it's 3-2.
And those takes, not that one right there, that one obviously a ball, but the two previous are risky, especially when you're down in the count with 2 strikes.
They're trying to get this second out of the 7th inning. And now timeout taken by Terrio. Tough spot for her to be in. Hadn't batted once in this tournament, and then she comes in with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th.
Also shows kind of the confidence they have in her and bring her in that situation.
Foul back to the screen.
You get 2 sides of the coin if you're her. You either look at it as positive, you know, they trust me in this scenario, but at the same time, it is a big ask.
The loser of this game plays at noon tomorrow. Winner plays at 2:30. Here's the 3-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss. That's a huge out. So 2 down now. The second strikeout by Dearth, and that brings up Haley Fontenot. The last chance of this game for the Generals.
And Theria did everything she could in that AB. Fought off a couple pitches, laid off a couple close ones. Tried to pick her pitch up, but Veronica Dearth with the off speed, pulling the string and coming out on top.
So here is Fontenot. She has a hit. She's 1 for 3. And that's ball 1. 1-0 is the count on the leadoff hitter for the Generals. Pops it up. That should do it. Palumbo makes the catch. And CMU advances to the 2:30 game tomorrow. And the home run in the top of the 7th inning by Lauren Hill was the difference in this one. For the Eagles, they scored 4 runs, and they did that on 11 hits. So they were able to hit the ball. They left a lot of runners on base today. They left 11, but they get the win, 4-1. Winning pitcher is Veronica Dearth. For the Generals, they got 3 runs, all in that 6th inning. They had 9 hits in the game, and they only stranded 4 runners. But good win for the Eagles. They move into the 2:30 game tomorrow. A win there, and they'll win this first site, as they will play there. And the Generals now will play at noon tomorrow. They will play against the winner of either British Columbia or UT Southern. That game is coming up next. We're going to take a break for a while, and we'll be back with our 3rd and final game of the day.